Hey, Amy, good to see you again. I'm just so glad that you are with me today because this is our first attempt at looking at what we need to do, what we can do to set some goals for you. Are you excited?
Yay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's see what we can do. And what do you, how do we do this? How do we move to the next step?
Well, we're going to put one foot in front of the other. But here's the thing. I want you to feel like you're part of the process. I want you to feel like you're going to put the pedal to the metal. Is that how that phrase goes? I want you to feel like you're going to propel yourself in the direction that you want to go, because I can give you all the information, but you got to do the work, right?
Hmm. Okay, well, what does that entail?
Okay. All right. So let's unpack this a little bit. So after our last conversation, we had the assessment. We were able to look at your life in more in depth. I can see that your numbers were low in regards to being able to connect with other people. The relationship to the self also was really low, because I grade those 1 through 10, 10 being great, that you're doing wonderful, and then 1 not being so great. And I could see that um, there were some issues that you were experiencing that we might not even have discussed in depth in our discovery call. So that's the whole point of that assessment. It gives me a lot of information. So today we're going to give you some homework based on those. But I just want to ask you a couple of questions. So before we can give you the homework, I want to know, do you feel like you are wanting to just hide away in your house all the time? I mean, can you tell me what the biggest problem is and why you want to hide from people?
Well, you know what, I've tried to attempt to meet different people,
Okay.
but I've either not resonated with them, or I've been shot down by them. And so I kind of carry that hurt. And it's like, well, now I don't want to, now I'm scared to meet other people, because all they're going to do is hurt me. So what's the point?
Oh, I see. Okay. Um, and in what way have they hurt you?
Well, they've, kind of shrugged me off, or said, or I've called them and they say that they're busy. They go out with their friends and they don't invite me. And I feel like I'm kind of either a burden, or that they don't want me there.
Oh, I see. Well, you did tell me in the assessment that you were also physically abused by several men along the way. Is that true? Is that what you were?
Yeah, it's just that it's hurt. I'm scared that I'm going to be that person again.
Okay, even with friendships, you're having a hard time trusting even with friends.
Yeah, for some reason I start to talk to them, and then it feels like they don't want to connect with me. So then I just kind of back off, and I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
I guess that's that then.
Well, my heart goes out to you. I'm sure that's painful. But there is a way out, and we're definitely going to address this. I think after talking to you today, and also going through some of the process in regards to the assessment, I think I've come to the conclusion that we can do a couple things here. Number one, I'm going to have you a journal about why you feel like you want to stay at home. I know you touched upon it just a minute ago, but I want you to journal about it, maybe a couple pages long, really dive into the past for just a little bit. Now, as a coach, I don't want to hang in the past, but I do have to know where the shadow side is. I have to know what happened extensively, what you went through mentally, so it can help me propel you forward in the direction that you want to, where you want to be, right? So,
Well, I've tried to journal before, but I just look at the page and nothing happens. Like nothing comes to me to write. So, um, that hasn't worked really in the past. So I'm not sure if that is something that, is there anything else that we can do?
well, I'll tell you what, let's try a different approach this time with the journal. What I recommend is maybe putting on your favorite music, something that you know that you can write to, and pretend like you're just writing a letter to yourself. And just have fun with it. Have the music in the background, and it can be really calming, or it can be, a lot of energy behind it, or whatever. But I want you to temp back and just have fun with the experience. How's that?
Hmm. Sure. Well, I can try. Not,
Okay, well, I'm going to
really
kick your butt.
promising anything, but
I'm going to kick your butt. I'm going to contact you the next couple of days just to see where you're at with it. Okay, so definitely journal about the experience, because it's going to give me a lot more insight on what's going on into your psyche, and that way we can also see what patterns that you've had that might have. Understand that it's never an excuse for a man to hit you. However, there might be some unresolved issues from maybe some trauma or something that you experienced when you were a child, and that might be give more insight into any patterns that you may be having. Okay. So just make it fun, make it exciting. Just kind of write down, and we don't have to like sit there and dwell in the ain't it awfuls. That's not the point of the exercise. It's just that I want to get a firm understanding. That way you can read it to me next week, and I can see what's going on in your inner consciousness. Okay.
mm-hmm.
Okay, great. All right. So the next one is, and this one might be a little difficult, especially since you've been kind of playing hibernation for a while. I want you to get out of your way and connect with three people. Three people. So you're going to have to get out of the house, and you're going to come up to people and introduce yourself, get to know them, and do it very organically. You don't have to feel like it has to be contrived. Let it happen. Let it unfold. Let's say you're at Starbucks, and one day someone's behind you and they might say, "Oh, excuse me." You can say, "Hey, I like your purse," or whatever. And that way you can create a conversation, start connecting with people. Okay.
What if they don't want to?
Well, then that's not your people. Then you keep doing it until you find the right person for you. Because think about it, there are billions of people on the planet. There's got to be someone out there who wants to connect with you. You're a great person. Why wouldn't they want to?
I don't know. Nobody's wanted to so far. So that's
Well,
just,
we're going to shift that narrative, because this is all about changing the inner dialogue that we have with ourselves as well. It means that we have to get out of our own way and put ourselves out there and do something differently. So I want to connect with three people. It could be a man and two women and a man, three women, three, it doesn't matter. I want you to put yourself out there. If you feel more comfortable with women, then do that, because of the situation that you experienced. Maybe connecting with women would be a better way to go for right now. Okay, but just get out of your own way. Go connect with three people, and maybe see if they want to go for coffee, or go to a record store, or check something out that you, or maybe to a venue of some sort that you haven't been to in a while. Now that the pandemic is, we're moving past that, it might be a way for you to get out of the cave, so to speak, and stop hibernating. Okay.
hmm.
All right. Now, our third one is, let me think here, based on, we are going to put ourselves in a situation that makes us feel uncomfortable. I know, right? That's probably a little scary, but I want you to put yourself in a situation not too uncomfortable, just enough for you to feel like you can put your toe in the water, so to speak, where you can learn to trust more. Okay. So I want you to pick one scenario, one experience that it's not, it doesn't have to be big, something that you haven't done in a long time, and you'll put yourself out there for the experience of it. Let's say, maybe you haven't been to a bar in a long time. or maybe you haven't been to some sort of event where there are a lot of people, and maybe you're feeling a little angst, but you're gonna push yourself out there and do it anyway. Okay.
Oh, that gives me anxiety even just thinking about that right now. So
Yeah.
that's
Well,
going to be hard.
what I want you to know is that as a coach, I'm available for you all the time. So let's say you get to that event, you're a little apprehensive. I'm going to hold your hand through the process. You can contact me, and you can text me and say, "Hey, I'm getting ready to do this. I'm a little nervous." And if you want to talk real quick before you go into the event or whatever, yeah, absolutely. I'm here for you no matter what. You do realize that, right?
Oh, okay. Well, that might help. Might
Okay.
help.
Yeah. And then what we're going to talk next week. These are small little steps that we can take to kind of progress you forward and move you forward. But next week, we're going to talk about setting up a mission for you, a mission statement. And what that does is it helps us create purpose in our life. And when we have purpose, then we can move in the direction of where we want to be. And in your particular case, I know that you had some trust issues. And when we do some of this journaling, it's also going to help give me some feedback on maybe what we can do in order to propel you in the direction of where you want to go. And that might be more aligned with the mission statement. Okay, so when you're journaling, not only am I wanting you to journal about your feelings of what you experienced, what you went through, I also want you to write down how you feel about moving out of that and what you could maybe now experience in life. What maybe some new goals for yourself, right? Because again, we're not just going to dwell in the past. We want to be able to move you forward. So where would you like to be in maybe 6 months from now or a year from now? And so journal about some of that too, because that'll help me and give me a little bit more insight on what we can do to help create your mission. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see how I do with that.
Okay. Well, I really believe in you. I know that it's been a rough road these past couple of years for you. But want you to stay strong. And again, remember, I'm here in the background. So if you need me, please feel free to reach out and ask me questions or anything. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. And
Mhm.
well, here goes nothing. We'll try it and see what happens.
I understand. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Amy. I appreciate you.
Okay.
All right. Take care. We'll see you next.
Bye.